Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Tuesday night. It's actually 7:30 this week. Thank goodness I can actually get on my own show on time. But nonetheless, it's time for the Tuesday night live stream. So glad you guys can make it. Looks like we already got a chat popping up. We've got Brett Hess Art. He says, "See wooden Tuesday goodness." I might have to steal that catchphrase. So see you in 25. So it looks like he's been waiting this whole time. So glad to have you, Brett. We've got Brian Spaceboy 227. He says, "What's up, everyone? Make sure you sub up Brian Spaceboy 227. He just had a phenomenal auction last week on his channel. Won me a good lot. Waiting for it in the mail. So definitely check out Brian's channel. We got Popcom. He says, "Can you dig it?" Ooh, yeah, cream of the crop. I'm going to go through a lot of water tonight doing that. But nonetheless, happy to have Popcom. If you guys like Funko Pops at all, for sure check out Popcom. He's got one of the best collections and customs in the community, so definitely check him out. And we've got Good as Gold. What's going on? Good as Gold. Glad you can make it, man. Brett Hess also says Blackhawks. Big thumbs up for the Blackhawks reference. While we're waiting in the chat room to fill it up, we'll go ahead and get into this week's pickups from my local shop. I think I actually got all of them read this week. I guess I'll show this one first because it's a more of a vintage one, I guess. And we got Kakarot. What's going on, Kakarot? He's posting pictures of geese again, so quack, quack. There you go. We got Batman Adventures number 13. Unfortunately, it's not number 12, but hey, I guess I'll take 13 for now. Shop had this for $2. I only had the one for some reason, so I figured I'd just go ahead and pick it up because I like collecting those older Batman Adventures. We've got Web of Venom Carnage Born, so we got the new Donny Cates Carnage book. This one didn't do tons for me, I guess. But nonetheless, if you guys are a completionist for his Venom run, this is pretty much must read. So I think the last panel of the last Venom issue showed this crazy, like, Donny Cates created cult that get Cletus Cassidy's corpse. And this is basically them waking up Cletus Cassidy. So there we go. Uncanny X-Men number 2. At least I like Jamie Madrox. They caught my curiosity on this story, I guess. Do I still like this book? Not yet. I'm really hoping I will. Like I said, I'll give it 2 more issues. I at least like the Lanilyu cover swiping his own cover from issue 1 with all Madroxes. So I thought that was kind of neat. But they have yet to really explain anything at all. We've got X-23 ripping away out of dinosaurs. That was kind of cool, I guess. But my favorite part of this book, and it's a stupid, dubious honor, I guess, for this book, is it opens up, and I guess spoilers, but it's more of a warning than a spoiler, I guess, for how goofy this book is. I always like it when books open up and they're in like a war center, kind of just seeing and scoping out what's going on in the world. And every super team in the Marvel Universe is awake. They're fighting giant sharks, which, hey, shout out to Pope Grammy. There you go. Giant shark being fought by Captain Britain. So you got all this action going on. What's the X-Men doing, helping out? They're sipping coffee. They're just sitting there. They're just waking up, sipping coffee. Beast is like, yeah, I would have woke you guys earlier, but LOL, whatever. Let's just sit here and relax and have a good time. So just an example of the little things in this book that just annoy me, I guess. So obviously they get in the battlefield later, but Jean's just sitting there having a good morning. There you go. By the way, check out Bueller's coffee comments and comics video, I guess. The X-Men, I'm surprised they didn't have that on a different channel. And here we go. My pick of the week, though, kind of negative. We'll go back into the positive real quick. This book has been really good, actually. Exorcisters, this is issue 2. I definitely recommend this book if you guys like, a little bit more of that whole hell and demons type storyline with a weird twist. So basically, this is about 2 sisters, or so you think. I guess kind of spoilers while I'm holding up the book. If you guys don't want to hear the spoilers, just wait till I put down the book. But in issue 1, we kind of find out toward the end that instead of them being sisters, like this one is the actual Kate. Like they're both named Kate, one with a C, one with a K. This is actually Kate, and this is her soul that was actually trapped in hell for quite some time. So when the 2 got reunited, the soul is like so messed up from being in hell that they can't be reunited. So they're just kind of sisters now, hanging out, solving demonic crimes together. So I really enjoy this book. I can't recommend it enough. And actually, my local shop made me pick this up. Actually, I told them if they could get one for me, go ahead and get it. Once again, shout out to Pope Grimy. He gave me one of these last week, but my shop actually got in like a month late. The Witches Bad Egg Halloween special. I'm actually still reading through this. It is a big book. So I'm about halfway through. You know, if you're a Jock fan like I am, you got to get this book. So now I have it twice. So very cool read there. And that was my pickups for the week. Let me get back in the chat because we got a lot of people hopping in and joining. Wow, 18 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. That's awesome. Brett is asking, what am I looking forward to tomorrow? Probably, in a bad way, I guess, Heroes in Crisis #3. Seeing which of my other favorite characters they can kill off. But no, I'll be picking that up, seeing how it's going there. We've got Bake the Snake. He says, what's up, playa? So glad you can make it, Bake the Snake. We've got Comicore in the chat. What's going on, Chad? Hashtag, yeah, you are. So thanks, Bueller, for getting this new hashtag over. While we're talking about the Comicore, I want to show these two off real quick before I keep going into the chat. Been reading these two Elseworlds books again. I think Chad and I, we're going to do a review coming up very shortly on the Comicore channel. We're probably going to record right after I'm done with this live stream. We're going to do like an Elseworlds countdown type thing where we try to review an Elseworlds book or two before they come on the CW hashtag Dare to Defy. But nonetheless, two really awesome reads. We've got the Adventures Superman Annual 6 and then Superboy Annual #1. So I believe the storyline was called the Super 7. This is actually part 1, and then this one is actually part 2. So they're actually the same storyline. So yeah, these are really awesome. Some of my favorite reads I ever had as a kid. So we'll definitely be reading those, giving a chat about them, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned to the Comicore for that review. All right, we got Comics Misexplained, hashtag Dare to Defile. So, yep, I'm trying to make my own hashtags on top of more hashtags. So there you go. We got the architect, Sam's Tangled Web, in the chat. What is going on, Sam? Glad you could make it. There he is. Hey, brother. Hashtag Dare to Defy. Says Great Legend. So I saw Great Legend put up a video promoting this stream right before I went live. So big thanks to Great Legend for his continued support of this channel. It means a lot, man. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also glad you could make it in the chat. We got Mr. White Gloves, Splash Page Comics. He says, what's going on? Had a phenomenal chat with Splash Page Comics, Kyle Waka, and JP from All About Comics the other night after JP's 1000 Instagram live stream. So that was I almost wish we could have had like just a little live hangout of that. It was such a good conversation. So some good people there as usual. We got the Slab Dragon, TJ Watson. What's going on, TJ? Once again, another person I'm glad can make it. And then there's the man himself. Hashtag, yeah, he is. Hashtag, yeah, they are. Comics with Bueller. Is he in here? Yeah, he is. So there you go. I gave him my best shot, guys. Let's see. We got Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson. He says NWO for live. So big Wolfpack. Boom. Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson. I noticed him, Tony Sanders, I think JD, they're starting a new live stream themselves as well. It was on last Friday. So definitely check their stuff out. It was a pretty good show, I thought. Just them kind of showing off what they got that week. So we always like to see each other's pickups. So glad you guys are kind of getting in the live stream game as well. We've got Wolf Blitz in the house. What's going on, Wolf Blitz? He says, what's going on? And then it looks like that catches me up. So we'll go ahead and get into some more pickups because it was Black Friday last week. We picked up some books. So I got these off Amazon. Oh, man. Trying to get back into the hardcover game myself. I've always really enjoyed reading hardcovers. Enjoy taking them to the cons, maybe getting a head sketch inside them, at least getting a cool signature. It seems like the creators love it when you get the hardcovers and the trade signed over the floppies for whatever reason. I guess they're just less collectible. And some of them look at it as, hey, this guy's probably a fan if he's buying hardcovers instead of trying to get this stuff CGC graded and gold labeled and what have you. But nonetheless, I've been getting a lot of floppies lately, so I want to get back into the hardcover game. So luckily, one of these TMNT volumes came back into print, so I was waiting for that to happen before really investing in this storyline. And Amazon had a decent deal. It wasn't a great deal. It's not like I got them for a steal or anything, but They got $5 off a lot, which brought it down to about 40% off a book. So that was kind of in my price range finally. So I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW ongoing collection. This is volume 1. And this is actually the main thing I've been reading all day. I mean, I'm going to show books all night, but this is the one that like really caught my attention today. I've just been sucked into. Besides reading Animal Man, kind of along with Legend, I'm just waiting for him to get the issue 13 before I start reading that again. But I got into this, and man, this is, if you guys are Turtles fans from way back when, like if you like the original comic, if you like the first movie or even the second movie, I guess, in my opinion, this is definitely the book to get if you guys like the older stuff. I know Turtles has been rebooted like 11 billion times at this point, like 2 times on Nickelodeon, and the Michael Bay movie, and the weird, it was a good movie still, the animated TMNT movie in like the mid 2000s. If you guys are going to pick like one reboot, I guess, pick this one. It's really good. Like it just, like this volume 1, you don't need to know anything about Turtles before reading this. It helps. It definitely supplements the book if you know, are a Turtle fan growing up like I was. But if you guys are just kind of curious about Turtles or wanting to get back into a Turtle book, I can't recommend this one enough. It's very good. Basically, it starts off like the Turtles, they're fighting in an alley like usual, except they're short one turtle and they're all wearing the red bandanas. So the main thing the Turtles are trying to do, they're trying to find their brother Raphael, because when the whole TCRI thing happened, there was this like cat that also got mutated. We find out this character's name's Old Hob. Old Hob basically fights Splinter, and in that process, Raphael gets lost from the group. So you kind of get to see Raph's story in this one, him actually finding Casey Jones, who's very young in this as well. He's basically a kid and a teenager as well. So you get to see Raph and Casey's storyline unfold. And then the other 3 Turtles with Splinter, they're looking for Raph. And then there's a whole, it's like almost like a Lost type flashback sequence where you kind of get to see the Turtles when they were just Turtles, and Splinter when he was just a rat, along in a lab with April O'Neil, and how that whole storyline goes. So it's a very well told storyline. Kevin Eastman oversees this whole story, so I'm really looking forward to read through these, because I'm about halfway through this volume right now, and I'm loving it. And then this is the one that was out of print for a while. This one was actually, I think, when I was thinking about getting all these hardcovers, this one was selling for like upwards of $70, $80 on eBay. I'm like, nope, not having any of that. I could get the single books easier than that. But this is like a 3rd or 4th printing, so this one's back in print. So obviously the pricing went way down once the print came back in. So happy about that. So that's the main reason I started picking them up. And I figured, why not get number 3 as well? Because I think this one was like $28. For some reason, this one's a lot cheaper. I don't know if they're just trying to blow out the printing so they can get a new one going or what. But I would have just got 1 and 2, but I decided to get 3 since it was just dirt cheap compared to the other ones. So definitely, this is like the very top of my reading list right now are these Turtle volumes, so I can eventually get the other ones. So I think volume 6 at least. That was the one that was on a in-stock trade, or not on in-stock trades, I should say, but it was still on Amazon. So I kind of wanted to read through them as quick as I could so I could justify buying all these at such, because they're basically at the minimum, they're $30 a pop. So if I got like 8 volumes at $3 a piece, that's a lot of money real quick. Dang, we got a lot of people in this chat. I got to get back into it. We have got Count Von Strange the 4th. What's going on, Count? Glad you could make it, man. I mentioned him earlier, and there he is again. We got All About Comics. JP, what is going on? Once again, big congratulations to JP. He recently celebrated 1,000 followers on Instagram. So if you guys aren't a part of his Instagram, definitely go follow him. And the Comics and Cold Ones Instagram as well. Can't recommend those guys enough. We got the amazing Murphinator. What's going on, Murph? Glad he could make it, man. And everyone's just loving the hardcovers. All right. Thumbs up this mofo dare to fight. Thank you, JP. All right. So next up, I'll go ahead and this is kind of rerun from JP's celebration stream, actually, the next few books. So I guess if you guys attended the that live stream, I apologize, but I definitely wanted to get these documented on my channel, I guess you could say, because I definitely want to make sure. Sometimes I actually use my own channel to see what I picked up when, if that sounds weird to anybody, maybe. But yeah, I definitely want to make sure I showed these on my live stream so you guys could at least enjoy them just about the first time. So once again, Black Friday deals. The Half Price Books outlet store had everything 50% off. including 20-cent comics and dollar comics. So basically, I got most of these for either 50 cents or 10 cents. So the first one I was talking about Elseworlds earlier. Chad's got me picking up these Elseworlds books now because he spurred my interest on it. So I got Legion of Superheroes Annual number 5, an Elseworlds title. So maybe I'll read through this. If it's good, we might go ahead and just flip through that and review it on the channel. We'll see. Maybe it'll probably suck, but you never know. I got a bunch of these coming up. Got Dial H issue 13. Very nice Brian Bolland cover. So I actually have a lot more of these coming up in the 10-cent haul, but unfortunately, this one was not 10 cents. It was 50 cents since it was in a bag and board. So I figured, why not? So there's that. And then I got a whole heck of a lot of Chew for 50 cents a piece. So we've got Chew, issue 56. So absolutely love the series. As you guys would probably know by now, we got 51 for 50 cents. So absolutely love the series. I actually have all of the, what are they? The Omnivore editions. That's how I read this series, but I couldn't leave these single issues laying for 50 cents a piece. So maybe I'll resell these one day, or maybe I'll just hang on to them. Because sometimes I don't like to double dip on, my comic collecting, but when it's 50 cents, you just kind of pick it up. JP's asking if I need an Elseworlds Superboy. Talk about this issue. I actually have 2 copies of it now. I think this is going to be one of those ones that I just pick up repeatedly. I love that book. We've got Chew 35 for 50 cents. Actually, the Superboy one I think I found for 20 cents at this same shop. 34. Hopefully I can get most of those covers. I think there's variants of that where there was like all 3 versions of it. 33. 32. Good old Mason Savoy ice cream sundae, I guess. We've got 31. And if I remember right, it's been a long time since I read through Chew. I think this one where something very devastating happens. So I didn't even see coming in that comic book. It's either issue 30. It probably is issue 30 and 31's the Fallout. We got issue 28. There's Poyo. We all love some Poyo. Who's read Chew? We got 27. 26. There's like a museum that just shows fried chicken because I can't eat chicken anymore. You got 25. I think that's the last one of the Chew run. Once again, this one was in my giveaway for 200 subscribers. So I figured why not rebuy it for 50 cents. This is Ultimate X-Men 50, Wizard World Chicago variant edition. And this one's actually written by Brian K. Vaughan and drawn by Andy Kubert. So a very awesome creative team on the book at this time. George Perez's Sirens, number 1. Love me some George Perez. Sinestro, number 8. Really cool Darwin Cook cover right there. I'd like to collect a lot of these too if I ever see them. So they're really cool. Mike Turner goodness. We've got Superman 202. Which I believe I have the first part of this issue, but I just never got this one. Decided why not get it for 50 cents? All right, so this whole stack right here, they were all 10 cents a piece. Every one of these was 10 cents. So once again, I started collecting Brian Bolland stuff recently, so I couldn't leave these laying for that price. So I got Dial H number 11. Number 10. No idea what's going on there, but it looks like a dog's not having a good day because he's got like a man body or something. So yeah, it looks like Grant Morrison decided to stop by their work that day. So there's that. Number 9. If anyone has read this series and thinks it's good, let me know, because I'll kind of want to know if I need to read these or not. I've heard Dial H isn't too bad, but I'll be honest, I know absolutely nothing about Dial H. There's 7. Number 6. Number 5, and they're sliding everywhere. Number 4, and I think I just need the first 3, and I'll have most of this run. And then I even got the 0 issue. And if you guys know me, my boy Connor Kent, if he's in the book and it's cheap, I got to get it. So there's Young Justice 44. Looks like they're having a great day there. It's being puppets or something. So I would like to collect most of this series too. It's one of my. I know Chad was giving away those floppies, the Pope Grimy, and I think it was last Comic Core. We've got Criminal Macabre, full Ben Templesmith art, 10 cents for the first issue. Why not? And then the last pickup I had from that week was The Wicked and the Divine, issue 13. Absolutely love this book. This one's actually drawn by one of my favorite artists I've discovered this year, Tuol Ote. So I had to make sure I got this. I have the hardcover version of this as well, but when it comes to Tuol Ote, I was glad to pick up that issue for 10 cents. All right, let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Burfinator says those are killer deals. Thank you for that. Just reading what else. Oh, we got Beyond the Blast Door. So it looks like we got David in the chat. Actually, that's a perfect segue into the chat I wanted to highlight this week because he pointed out he already looked at my links. Spoilers, I guess. I've been watching a lot of his content recently. So if you guys like Star Wars at all, you owe it to yourself to sub up Beyond the Blast Doors. They've really turned up the content recently in terms of, you know, just getting premiere videos out on YouTube. And they always like do the premiere thing so you can chat with them as you're actually watching their video if you catch the premiere. So once again, if you like Star Wars, owe it to yourself to sub up David and the crew from Beyond the Blast Doors, because they got some of the, not only is it a great channel and they got great topics, they have some of the best production values for their subscriptions. Like I think they're like under 700 subscriptions still for whatever reason. They deserve much, much more than that. So definitely sub those guys up if you get a chance, because they've been killing it on content lately. So once again, sub up Beyond the Blast Doors. You owe it to yourself if you like Star Wars. We've got Pope Grimy is in the chat. What's going on, Pope? Glad you can make it, man. And everyone's just saying hi to each other, so that's great. Oh, we just had Ruben Neves pop up. He says, made it. Everyone, what's going on? So glad you can make it, man. Good as Gold says, my current dilemma, 50 books at 50 cents or a book at 25. I would say it probably depends on what comics and what book. If it's just like a bunch of stuff that usually sells for 50 cents, or you get a good quality hardcover, honestly, I'd probably pick the good quality hardcover unless there's like a major key issue in that lot or something that's, you know, basically worth that 50 or what would be $25. So I'd probably go with the book, but hey, it's whatever you want to do, I suppose. The rest of the hardcovers I got, once again, I think I showed these on previous shows. I got Harrow County Library Edition, the first volume, obviously. Another one, this is probably gonna have to wait till after Turtles now. I was starting to read this, and then I got the Turtle ones in the mail. So yeah, I was really digging it. And then we got the Turtles ones, and I got sucked into those Turtles, I'll be honest. But Harrow County, #1. We all get the joke from JP's show. So Harrow County. And then Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. I got this omnibus for 75% off. So I figured, you know, why not get this? It has some cool George Perez art. It actually has a lot of really nice art in it. I was flipping through it, and like the covers for the books that were the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, they're all really nice and painted and everything. Actually, I guess I could show the back cover. Just there's a lot of really cool art. I don't know much about Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, but I got this for like a steal of a deal off In Stock Trades. It was like, it actually been 78% off. So I figured, you know, when you see Marvel omnibuses that cheap, you get them. All right, so the first topic I wanted to cover tonight, and I left his link down below too for Contender's previous video. Contender made a video where he kind of just tagged the community overall, and he just wanted to talk about top 10 stuff. And I actually brought it up on the Comic Core last week, just about like, did you guys make a top 10 list at the beginning of 2018, and how much of it did you get? And on top of it, Contender made a video just showing off books he liked that he got this year. So I kind of tried to merge everything together into one topic. So I kind of put together what I got off my top 10 list that I made in probably February, March of 2018. And then I actually have my top 15/16 other books I got this year because I couldn't pick just 10 books. So that's just the way I do, I guess. So I'll start off with what I completed this year. So I got 7 of my 10 books I originally set out as a goal. The 3 I didn't get. So I haven't yet got The Amazing Spider-Man 252. That was one of the books I put on the list. At the beginning of the year, I didn't really think about the Venom movie or anything like that coming out. So I guess shame on me. Because obviously anything with the symbiote, or as the movie called it for a while, symbiote. That will never stick, thank goodness. The symbiote costume stuff, it just doubled in price. So I always just wanted that book because, you know, watching Spider-Man on TV as a kid, the Black Costume Saga I thought was really awesome. I've always just kind of wanted that book and never saw it for cheap, so I put that on my list. Fortunately, because the movie, it kind of doubled the prices on the book, so I just never got it. You guys could tell by my 10-cent haul, I kind of like Chew, so I put Chew #1 on my list. That book, it's usually about, what, $200 minimum, it seems like, on eBay. So another book I just haven't found for the right price yet. And then the last one, I just went big. I had to put one big boy book on there, I guess. But once again, I never found the right price and the right condition. That was Green Lantern #1 from the Silver Age. I got a lot of other Green Lantern Silver Age stuff this last year. Should be showing off some bronze here in a second. You probably guess what those books are if you've seen my channel. But those are 3 books that just, for whatever reason, eluded me all year. But here are the ones I actually put on the list and found. And there's actually, I think, one was a gift. So we'll shout that person out when we get there. So the first one, Detective Comics 871. I know most people probably put 880 on the list, but that one at the time I didn't think was going to be very affordable, and I wanted to get this one because it commands a few bucks too. So I figured at least this one I could get for like a decent buy, and luckily I did, and I'll get back into that buy more later, but this is on the list, and I got a really nice mini copy of it, so happy with that. This one was kind of just a run filler for me, but nonetheless, it still commands a few bucks. X-Men 51 from the Silver Age. Actually, yeah, I guess the early Silver Age. I had 49 and 50, so I wanted 51 to kind of complete that Steranko trilogy of X-Men covers and stuff. Unfortunately, this isn't the best condition, but it's still all attached and everything, and I got it for pretty cheap. So yeah, this one I put on the list just kind of as a run filler, and I'm happy I got it. I got this one on a phenomenal deal. I think I only paid I got a big lot of Wonder Woman. I think it only came out to like $2 a piece. And in that lot was Wonder Woman #1. So for those of you attending C2E2 this next year, I'll definitely probably be taking this with me to get George Perez's signature on that. But I just at least wanted this nice wraparound George Perez Wonder Woman cover because I would like to start collecting more of his Titans and Wonder Woman, just overall his 80s stuff. I've collected like a lot of his stuff into 2000s and really enjoyed it. So kind of trying to backlog my collecting in terms of George Perez and get the 80s stuff. I've obviously got Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I needed Wonder Woman and new Teen Titan stuff to start filling that stuff out. So happy to have that. Once again, kind of run filler for me. I had the first like 20 some odd issues of X Factor missing some keys. I think I got this one for $5 at Indiana Comic Con, I think. So here's X Factor #6, the first full appearance of Apocalypse. So I had like a couple cheap issues of #5. Could never find #6 for affordable, but luckily I did it at a con. And I think you guys know what this barcode is. Like, what? Let me think for a second. Well, what is this called? Oh, that's right. Say it with me, I guess. The newsstand. So there you go. There's my one for the night. Newsstand copy of X Factor 6. Big thanks once again to A Poor Man's Comics. He knew this. I was looking for this, and he found this copy. I think he said he found it for like a dang $1 at a convention I was at last year's C2E2. So I think he was just like, he felt a little bad, and he wanted to give me an A-OK. So new Teen Titans #1. Once again, this will be another one I take with me to C2E2 next year because they just announced this week Marv Wolfman will be going along with George Perez, so I can get this double signed and add it to my collection just like that. So thank you again, A Poor Man's Comics. Not every day someone gives you a top 10 list comic from your list, so very awesome there. Now, probably my top 2 favorite pickups of the entire year, I'll be honest. I'll show this one first because that's the one I paid a few bucks for, but luckily I didn't break the bank. I got this book, Why the Last Man #1. It was in a pretty big lot of books, so luckily I didn't pay $200 for this. I think I ended up paying, full disclosure, like $200 for like the first 25, 30 issues. So basically it's like you think like I got this one and then got the rest for free. And I think once the TV series hits, at least those first like 5 to 10 issues will be collectible a little bit more as well. So I needed to make sure I got this year because I think, FX handling Why the Last Man, and I'm pretty sure that's launching next year. I think once that show hits, if it's as good as Legion, it'll probably be better, honestly. I think this book's just going to keep going up. So I wanted to make sure I got a copy of this while I still could for, semi-affordable because, well, what happened to Walking Dead once that show hit, I don't want to miss out on Why the Last Man because it's one of my favorite comic series. And once again, it's probably the best series that's came out post 2000, in my opinion. Last one, my find of the year, easily. Sandman, Master of Dreams, #1. Got this for $1 at Half Price Books. Probably will end up being probably my best finds of all time, if not the #1 find for me. Once again, this copy looks like it's never been read. So very happy to find this for $1. I don't do too much of the CGC slabbing, but these last few books, those will probably be ones I seriously consider getting slabbed. If you guys want to know what I think about to slab or not to slab, check out the last Comic Core, because that was one of our topics. So absolutely check that out. So that was my 7 of my 10 wanted books for the year 2018. Before I get into my other ones that weren't on my list that I really, really enjoyed, let me get back in the chat. We got Midwest Comic Man Paul. He says, did somebody say C2E2? Yeah, I know that's going to be our Christmas, man. I cannot wait. And then we'll segue into Paul a little bit. We'll wait for a second. Hopefully everyone checked out his video today. We got Tony Sanders in the chat. I was talking about Tony Sanders earlier. Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson, and JD, they started a new live stream as well. So check those guys out. Like I said, his channel's just blowing up over there. So if you guys aren't subbed up, don't miss out. Got Brian Spaceboy. He says, dang, Sandman won for $1. I think Pope Grimy was also reacting to that. Yep, there's his reaction. Great Legend says, humongous announcement coming this Monday night from the Great Legends show, hopefully. Auction news for December 2018. Yeah, definitely. Most likely everyone in here is subbed up to the Great Legend, but if you aren't for some reason, and especially if you like auctions, you have to be subbed to his channel coming up in December. Trust me. I don't want to spoil the announcement. Most people in the community probably kind of already have a hint what it is, but absolutely, he's got probably the biggest community auction of all time coming up on his channel. Let's just leave it at that. And then we've got Tat Comics. How's it going, Tat Comics? He said, miss books, but nice shirt. Believe me, I still got books to go, man. So cool, you can make it, Tat. All right, so like I said, I definitely wanted to owe it to myself to show a few more books, because I didn't want to leave it at just that top 10 list for what I made like a year ago, because obviously ones have changed, like I'm sure everybody else's has throughout the last 10, 12 months, whatever it is. So yeah, and I just found stuff I didn't think I would get, so I never put them on the list as well. So let's go ahead and start with these slabs, because we've seen them a million times. You guys watch my channel. Can't leave these off my best of 2018. So I got Green Lantern 85 and 87. 85, obviously, you know, my word, a junkie. That's what blah, blah, blah. So absolutely love that cover. Iconic, obviously. So happy to have it in 9.2. One of those books I wouldn't think I'd own for the price I got it. And then once again, 9.4, first John Stewart. So they whipped the Green Lantern. Now let's let them try me. So it was like they whipped the Green Lantern. I've always liked that. So very cool book. Definitely the best slab I got this year. I think I've only got like 3 slabs this year. So one of my favorite things. Probably one of the top most valuable books in my collection, but that's definitely not getting sold or going anywhere. So for the floppies, I guess first off, I'll just take this one out. I didn't really count this one toward that's why I call it top 15, including the 2 slabs. There were 16 books in here, but I have to show this because, in my opinion, is by far the cover of the year. I don't care what Cat Run Figure says about the ears. So, got the Middleton variant for Batgirl 23. Got it for cover. Easily, in my opinion, the cover of the year. So I wanted to highlight that. So there we go. Put that up there. All right. So for the top 13, I guess, and not really any in particular order here. Got this one off in Alex the Comic Quarter auction. Been looking for this since I was a kid collecting this Mark Waid Flash stuff. We got Flash 92, first appearance of Bart Allen Impulse. I could never find this book as a kid. It just kind of it didn't really go up that high in terms of price, but it was always just in that like middle range price point where I kind of felt like I should find this book in a cheaper bin, but I just never did. So I finally bit the bullet and got this nice quality copy off Alex. Big thanks to Alex Comic Order and his action for allowing me to get this for a really good price. Got this one off TiVo Lords of the Long Box auction, I think in January, actually, off Darkside Jedi. Doctor Strange #1. I can't remember what I paid for the entire lot, but I know this was a steal of a deal back in the day off the Lords of the Long Box auction. So this one got me hooked into the Frank Bruner 70s art. There's just a phenomenal art inside these Doctor Strange books. One day I'd like to sit down and plan on reading like Doctor Strange 169 through basically Doctor Strange #10 at least of this run. So had to put that in there. Once again, another shout out for Alex. He hid this book for me for some reason in a comic shop in Maryville, Indiana. I just brought it up once. He's like, dude, I hid a comic in a shop. If you want, go. Here's where I hid it. You can go get it. So, yeah, it's Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., #1. I actually ended up getting, I think, every one of these Steranko covers this year, and I just absolutely love this work from him. Obviously, this and issue 4 are two of the most iconic comic covers of all time. So definitely happy to have this. Unfortunately, the cut on the comic's a little weird. It cuts off like the price and everything. That's not like a spine roll or anything. That's just the way the comic was cut. So wouldn't mind eventually like getting an upgrade of this in issue 4 eventually, but just glad to have them all. I think I have 1 through 7 as his main cover run of the collection. So I got 2 through 7 for dirt cheap off eBay this year, but I'd like to upgrade a couple copies from that run. So definitely happy to have that in the collection. Next 2 I actually got really recently, is I think last 2 weeks. Once again, this will probably be the 3rd book I get signed by Perez at C2E2. We've got the Infinity Gauntlet #1. Got a decent deal on this from an antique dealer, an antique store. So, like I always say, I think every stream now, it's like, don't sleep on your antique stores. They have stuff like this in there for cheap. Also, newsstand. There we go, newsstand. And then they also had this Teen Titans #1. This thing's kind of wrecked, but I got it for a really, really good price because this isn't a cheap book. Obviously, this one's a little wrecked, but cover was attached. So, especially with the show kind of being a hit, glad I could get an affordable copy of Teen Titans #1 from the Silver Age. I'd like to get a lot more of this run. Now, especially I have #1. That's a pretty big hurdle to cross when you're collecting these older ones. I'd like to get their first appearance eventually, but hey, maybe that'll be for next year. I believe I got this one in a contest from the boy who had 7 collects comics. I can't believe he was giving this comic away, actually. So I got the Tales of the Teen Titans #44, first appearance of Nightwing. So like I said, I couldn't believe this was in a giveaway. So extremely happy to have that in the collection. Like I said, no particular order. Another book I wanted for a long time and actually got a decent deal. I think I got a phenomenal deal on this, if I remember right. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the white cover. I think I got this for like, basically I got this whole Ultimate lot for like a couple dollars. And I think, yeah, it was $2 an issue. So I basically got this for $2. And this is just another of those books. I wanted the first one for a long time, and I never thought I'd own it. But to own the white cover, like that's just mind-blowing to me that I got that for so cheap. So, and I know the Ultimate stuff has really dropped in price over the last like 5-ish years. Like no one really collects it anymore. But for me, you know, when I started collecting it, this was my version of Spider-Man. I absolutely love the Bendis and Bagley run of Ultimate Spider-Man. So extremely happy to have that in the collection. We've got the silent issue of G.I. Joe #21. Got this, I think it was like 10 for $12 G.I. Joe books at my local shop. And they had like pretty much the first 50 bundled in tins. So I kind of wish I could show the first one, but the first one was so wrecked. Like the centerfold falls out of it. The cover looks like it got ran over by a car. So I decided to pick issue 21 instead, because honestly, this one's probably like the best. I guess I don't know if you call it a read or just a look, because it doesn't really have any words, but we'll go ahead and call it a read. This is probably one of the best reads all year for me. It's just such a good story. Just the battle between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow with Scarlet involved. So absolutely phenomenal read. If you guys like G.I. Joe, check that one out. Shout out to Poor Man's Comics again. He gave me a tip on this cover. I found this one in a 20-cent bin in that half-price books I keep talking about almost every week. This is a second printing newsstand variant of Superman 50. As you guys can kind of see there, like the variant difference is a historic engagement issue. But these newsstands, like I guess this is technically a ghost book. So there's like pretty much like the first appearance of Tim Drake. I guess I have a version like that for the Batman book that's rare, and then this one's the Superman version of that. So how much this is worth, I have no idea, because this isn't even on eBay anywhere. Like, I have no clue. Like, Poor Man says, if this came out the right grade, it could be a 4-figure book. So I might do an experiment with this one next year just to see if any of that's kind of true. So I'll probably end up trying to get this pressed and graded at some point, because there's not really, I mean, there's a little bit of waviness on top. And of course, it has its usual couple ticks because it's a newsstand. So we'll see what happens with this book. I have like 2 other copies of the first printing, one signed by Dan Jurgens. So I'm not super attached to this book. I just thought it was like a really cool, variant out there. So hey, speaking of, there's Poor Man's Comics. So there you go. Like I said, no particular order. My most expensive find of the year, but nonetheless, it was a legit deal. Incredible Hulk 181. It does have the Marvel stamp in the back of it. Once again, never thought I owned this book. So to have it lower than the price guide price, like that was like from early 2018 before the Disney buyout happened. So happy to have this book for the right price, because I don't think I would have kicked myself, I think, if I didn't buy this for what my store offered me. So once again, I'll probably end up getting this slabbed at some point. Got this on a steal of a deal as well. I think for the whole Jock Snyder Francavilla lot, I paid maybe $80 for all 871 through 882. So basically, this book itself was easily worth that and more. So gotta love that Jock cover. Don't know if Chad's still in the chat, but we could have a whole video talking about if this is Joker or not. We'd have to get Jeremy Edwards in there, I know, to get his ruling on that too. So yeah, is this the Joker? We're still debating that today. I love it. I could hear Chad all the way here in Indiana getting mad about Joker. And then my last one's in the pile. Yep, not Joker. So you heard it here first. Not Joker. So the last 2 I wanted to show, I just kind of picked these as a tie, I guess. Got the Frank Miller miniseries Wolverine and the issue 1 ongoing. So 2 books I'm extremely happy to have. Oh, and Contender just popped in. So this is me answering Contender's tag there he put out to the community. So these are my last ones. 2 books I always wanted to collection. So there we go. And that is pretty much my top picks for 2018. All right, let's go up in the chat a little bit, because I think I missed out on some people and some comments. So I got to scroll up here real quick. We'll go back to, I'll just go where it says Gulak. Great Ledge says, he's got the books and the looks of Gulak. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Like one night we're talking about how dumb Gulak looks, and he's like, he got the looks of Gulak. So thanks, Legend, question mark. All right, let's see who else joins. We got Bear Island Comics, who says, growing that hair out. Yeah, I'm just lazy. There's no reason for it. And it looks like a lot of people are looking for silver and Bronze Age Green Lanterns. I think, yeah, Tony said he's looking for 87. Goes Gold's looking for 76, which kind of spoilers. My 2019 list, number 1 on that will probably be Green Lantern 76. I have pretty much the entire rest of the Adams and Denny O'Neil run. I need 76, though. But it's not a cheap book. Pope Grimy says, this year, baby, Green Lantern 7, I'm daring to defy, brother. Woo! There we go. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, he also says. Brian Spaceboy says, Titans is fantastic. Did I miss a random Stawinski appearance? Someone saying hi to Brandon. Maybe I missed Stawinski in there. We'll see. Looks like JP needs to talk to somebody. Pope Grimy asks, are we breaking up live on Seawood's channel? Oh, no. Dare to defy, I guess. Dare to defy. So I would absolutely hate to see Grimy and JP break up. That would just crush me. I would have to just like cut off the stream immediately and bring those 2 in and make them like hug it out over the internet somehow. He also says 181 Christmas that mug to me. Yeah, I don't think so, bud. Sorry. I do owe Pope Grimy an A-OK, but 181 most likely not going to be in it. Poor Man says top 10 for the year is going to be tough. Yeah, Poor Man's got some legit books on these auctions, and He's always finding stuff for like $1.50 because he lives up to that name. Great Legend says, LOL, Gulak messes Corbin up every time. Yeah, he does. I don't even know what the win-loss record is now, but Gulak's still on that roll on half report. So, all right. So I think I've got one more topic in me tonight. So the last link I put below, I said I was going to segue into, was Midwest Comic Man Paul's video he put on the Comic Core earlier. So definitely check that out. And the question is, did I leave that link up? I think I did. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So anyway, Paul has set on the task of his collecting goals for next year. He has decided he is going to collect books from his birthday month. So the year he was born, or the month he was born, he's going to try to collect every book from that month. So I decided, you know, why not, number one, plug the video on the Comic Core channel because he did a great job showing off these books that he's going to attempt to get. But I figured for curiosity's sake, let's take a look at December 1983, which was my birth month, and see exactly what I would need to get if I was interested in taking on the same topic. But I do want to take a quick what's up to Who Dat Comics and Movies, who just hopped in the chat. Looks like he just joined us. So we're going to go into the Infinity screen share here. All right, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to click on this link. So I left this link to Mike's Amazing World. I think I'm trying to think of who he said he got the link from. I can't remember right now, but nonetheless, if you guys wanted to click the link after the video and put in the information, just if you're curious to see what came out, you know, a certain month of a year, you can. So here I have the books that I would need to get to do this goal. We've got the A-Team #1 from Marvel. So, hey, that'd be a pretty cool book to get. I don't think I have that one. So we got the A-Team #1. Oh, and Midwest Comic Man says ETA Nick. That's right. So ETA Nick's the one who originally kind of let the community know about this link. And I also do want to say a special what's up. We got LP from Rebel Gaming in the chat. What's going on, LP? I'm glad you can make it, man. How's it going? So happy Rebel Gaming could hop in the chat. So back to the December of 1983, we've got Action Comics 553 here. And this one caught my eye because it's got my boy Animal Man right front and center of the cover. So probably not a key book, but it'd be a cool one to collect because, hey, I like me some Animal Man, as Legend and I were getting our review together of that one day. The rest probably won't be picking up. So we got Alien Worlds #6. Looks like a cool cover on that one at least. All-Star Squadron 31, Alpha Flight 8. I'll stop reading them off because you guys probably seen most of them. I'll just point out the ones I think either look cool or I wouldn't mind getting eventually. So Batman 369, I like collecting me some Batman, so I'd probably want to get that. Probably nothing off the right because I really don't collect Outsiders. Not sure what the Best of DC #46 is. Wouldn't mind having that Jimmy Olsen issue at least, though. Got Daredevil 205. What's this one? I think that's a. I do like me some early Daredevil from that 200s run. That was right after the whole Frank Miller and Elektra stuff, so that'd be cool to have probably. As well as the Elektra Saga #2. That'd be cool. We got Fantastic Four 264. Looks like a cover swipe of issue 1 there from John Byrne. So that looks like a really cool cover, or at least somewhat of a cover swipe. I guess it doesn't have the whole team on it. Let's see what else we got. Fury Firestorm 21. Hey, I just showed this book today. Awesome. Well, at least I got like one of the main key books that's probably worth having. So absolutely awesome there. Good book once again. If you guys are just joining us, you need to check out G.I. Joe #21, the silent issue. One of my probably the best G.I. Joe comic ever published for what my money's worth. So definitely check that out. And if you guys see a key issue, shout it out for sure. Maybe I missed stuff. I've been collecting a little bit of Iron Man this year, so collecting Iron Man 180 would probably be pretty cool. It's a very nice cover right there. I like that blue. Let's see what else we got. I think I saw at least one more really key issue in this whole lot. I do like me some ROM Space Knight just because they had this really awesome line of Bill Sienkiewicz covers. So I think I have most of these at my parents' house for whatever reason. Yep, poor man's already shouted it out. I actually think I skipped it. We got New Mutants 14. I actually have this one in the collection as well as the first appearance of Magic. So thank you, poor man. I skipped that. I forgot to mention it. So I think I got this at the end of last year. So that's definitely probably out of this whole lot, the main two worth having are G.I. Joe 21 and New Mutants 14. But yeah, First Magic's a great book to collect right now, in my opinion. Who knows when that New Mutants movie's ever going to come out? Let's see what X-Men issue came out that month. So 179. Ramita Jr. cover. It seemed like there was a Superboy I saw on this list I wanted to shout out too. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, it was the World's. No, it's not World's Finest. All right, now I'm just rambling, so I'll probably give up. Anyway, I thought I saw a weird Frank Miller Superboy cover, but I could be wrong. At first, I thought I had the first Almore Swamp Thing, but it was just issue 22. So that's a cool one there. So as you can see, some months probably better than others. At least I had 2 cool books come out that month. So yeah, definitely. If you guys are interested in this, definitely click the link and check out Midwest Comic Man's video on the Comic Core channel, because he's actually going to do this task. And like, if he was born in this month, this would be what he would have to collect right here to achieve this goal. Oh, here's that New Adventures of Superboy issue 51. I'll show this real quick before I go back to my ugly mug. So there's a I might have to look out for this one. It's just a Superboy Frank Miller cover apparently. So I didn't know Frank Miller ever drew Superboy. So that's pretty interesting. So I'll definitely have to look into that and check that out and see if that actually exists or not. So we'll get out of the